The decision of the PDP's 96 NEC meeting to throw the presidential ticket open is still causing ripples within and outside the party. I mean, what happens to the chances of the aspirants? Is the party really in touch with what has been described as the mood of the nation? And more importantly, the real issues Nigerians want to be tackled. Well, let's speak with our guest tonight. He's a technocrat turned politician with decades of experience in Nigeria's financial services sector, rising across commercial banks to the position of executive director. In 2013, he was appointed the secretary to the Akwa Ibom state government under the Godswill Akpabio administration, and 3 years after, he contested for the governorship seat, which he won. He was re-elected in 2019, and as he completes his tenure, he has his eyes on the nation's top job. We're joined on the program tonight by Governor Udom Emmanuel, the governor of Akwa Ibom State. It's great to have you on the program, Your Excellency. I'd like us to begin with your party, because there's a lot of, internal workings. The second highest organ of the PDP, that's the NEC, 2 days ago threw the presidential race open. I'd like to get your thoughts first. Are you pleased with that decision?
Thank you, Kayode, and let me use this opportunity first of all and appreciate PDP across the nation, in every ward of this nation, and also say here that I love the introductory part of who I am in politics, that I'm a professional in politics. In our profession, one watchword that always must play is discipline. So once that discipline comes in, and we always believe that party is supreme. So whatsoever decision is taken by the party, you are bound by that decision. So no individual can just come out and challenge a collective decision of the party. So whether you're pleased or not, it does not actually matter. You must fall in line because that's the decision of the party. But for myself as a person, I think we were actually thinking, not just me, we were actually thinking when we were holding the Southern Governors Forum, that's both APC and PDP, all the governors from the South in Nigeria. We actually made our opinion known, but if our party says that will not augur well with our party and the position of the party for today, and we don't have a choice. We must abide by what the party wants, and that's what we call discipline. So I'm okay with that.
So you are pleased with this decision?
Whether you're pleased or not, I started by what I saying discipline. Discipline ensures that I must abide by what the party wants. So that's what I call discipline. So I cannot say anything contrary to what my party wants. So whether you're pleased or not, always, there's always an option. If you don't like what one party does, you have an option. But in this case, I think so for me to still abide by PDP means that I'm okay with what they are saying and what they are doing. So I think it's okay by me.
Well, I see that you're being a party man here, but you talked about the southern governors, coming together and making that resolution, Asaba, Lagos, Enugu, and in other fora as well. So what does this say really about the party? Do you think that maybe the party didn't really put to mind or put on the table the agitations from the southern governors? Now, this is across party lines.
Well, I would not say so, because before the party arrived at that decision, they set up a committee that had membership across all the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. So if it's a representative of all the states in Nigeria, and they came up with that resolution or that conclusion and that decision, as this case may be, and I had somebody representing me there. So if at the end of the day, that's what the committee decided, I think I'll stay with that.
I've lost some of the things you said there, but I got it up to the point where you said you had someone representing you at that meeting.
No, let me repeat myself, Kayode. I said that all the 36 states sent in representative into that committee. So whatsoever decision that committee really arrived at is binding on all of us, because it was a committee set up at NEC and having representatives in all the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. So if that's what the committee are recommended to the party, we are bound by that recommendation.
But You know, it would seem as though there is, the mood of the nation on the one hand, and there is maybe the mood within the party. And there's always been that conversation about, standard, or at least ensuring that they both measure up. Yes, what you want within your party is important, but the general outlook of the nation is also a very important point. Would you say that your party considered the mood of the nation in terms of justice, equity, and fairness? I mean, that statement that was put out by Southern governors used those particular words, justice, equity, and fairness. Would you say your party considered that in making this decision?
I think in this case it's extremely difficult to measure. How do you measure justice, equity, and fairness? We could have been able to measure that if PDP was already in the government. Right now we don't have government house. So I think these are some of the things that play. They were trying to marry the mode of the nation and the mode of the party. It is now left for the party. It doesn't actually matter. The committee have done its work. So if the members of the party feel strongly that the mood of the nation says the thing must come to the South, so they have every right on 29th of May to go and vote a Southerner to be the next president. So they still have a platform to express that. So it's not all roads closed, actually. It's actually, a way out that, look, even though the committee said this or the party ratified this, but the delegates still have a role to play here. They can get to the nomination Congress and just say that, look, during the primaries, and say, look, we want to swing by the mood of the nation. And in that case, let's vote a Southerner. So that would be perfect. But for now, I would still suggest that we stay with what the party had come up with.
Do you then agree with those who say that maybe the Southern governors or Southern politicians generally were outplayed politically in this one?
It's difficult to arrive at that conclusion because as somebody like me, I don't just jump into conclusion if I don't have enough facts. I know facts do change, but here I don't even have facts at all to actually jump at that conclusion. So I have to be a little bit careful so that I don't jump into conclusion when I don't have the facts.
Well, speak to us about this, Governor Emmanuel, because now that this has come, there are concerns about how, people within your party, both aspirants and the rest alike, are taking this on board. Are you concerned that this might split your party?
Well, any good party man would love that the party will work stronger if we are united and speak the same language and have that basic understanding. But I can reassure you that PDP is very strong. I don't see anything dividing us now. As we've just discussed, I believe, as far as that person is a Nigerian, the person will understand the mood of the nation. Let me also give you an example. If you are boarding a plane, a lot of people don't even matter, a lot of people don't bother who is a pilot in the cockpit. All you're after is let the airplane take you safely to your destination. And in this case, we even have a role to play, as I said, during the primaries. I believe every single delegate that will come for PDP primaries, presidential primaries, is a Nigerian. So if the person is coming with a Nigerian blood with him, he will come with the mood of the nation also with him. And he has every platform to express that mood through the ballot. So it's not closed, as the case may be. It's not closed. I wouldn't say it's closed, because there is still an open door for them to express that. So I wouldn't think that would divide the party. Why should that divide the party?
Right.
I don't think that should divide the party, because the party can still make a decision in line with the mood of the nation at the primaries. Okay. So that shouldn't divide the party.
Okay, we'll get into some of the major issues now, but just to be clear, you're saying whether it goes to the north, south, or whatever region, you will support that candidate and stay within the PDP.
I'm a very loyal person. I don't see myself leaving PDP for any reason. So wherever it goes, you see, it's one thing about politics is if we do what we say, it will help us a whole lot. If the mood is towards a particular direction, let's also follow it up with the votes and everything will be fine. So it's one thing for saying this is the mood of the nation, and when it gets to voting and then we vote something different, why should that make me leave the party? I'm here to support my party, and because we have a lot to offer in 2023. So I must support whoever emerges so that we can, but I'm so sure, no matter what happens, I'll be the one to emerge. So because we are aiming towards rescuing and restoring a whole lot of lost glory and past prosperity of this nation.
Well, I saw that coming, really, Your Excellency, and I didn't expect less, expecting that this will swing your way. So let's talk about what your party, or you specifically, what you have to offer Nigerians. I was trying to take a look at some of the economic indices of your state. I mean, across various levels. And one of the figures that jumped at me, and this one touches at the heart of, the economic issues in Nigeria, is unemployment rate. As at the last count, the figure for unemployment in your state is 51%. And if Nigerians would just extrapolate simply, they'll wonder, how would you then do it in a nation that is 33%? It's even higher than the average of the national unemployment figure. So can you maybe give an explanation to that?
No, Kayode, if you didn't bring that up, I would have been a little bit disappointed. You see, that same question I've answered in live programs not less than 5 times. Because you see, statistics, how did they collect the sample size compared to a population size? What was the population size? That's number one. And if you check that also statistics, it included some states that even yourself will doubt the figures. Let me point out something to you. If you go around Nigeria today, this is one state that every single local government is a construction site. And every single construction site, youths are employed. A lot of people are employed. As of today, we are just one government that, since I came in, the number of doctors we've hired, the number of teachers we've hired, even just last year, the year before, immediately I came in, we took almost like 3,500 teachers. Let's even begin with education. Just last year, I took additional 1,000 into secondary school. Then, right now, another 1,100 into primary school is ongoing to be concluded. Then you also look at a lot of infrastructure development in every single local government. All these employ people. And look at the number of factories also that we've set in. This also provide indirect jobs outside the direct jobs. So it calls to question, how did they collect this data? And you also see a whole lot of other states that will question you. I don't want to mention those states. You see a whole lot of questions, that will bring it to questioning. How did you take the sample size? Who did you talk to? Where did you get to? Who in government was, because when people try to collect, sample size, there's always somebody they need to talk to. Who did they talk to? Did you even talk to the statistics office in the state? So we've actually brought this up, and a lot of people have actually doubted the integrity of that figure. We don't know how they came about it. We only woke up and saw a publication. We don't know how it came about it. And if this the second state in Nigeria with the highest foreign direct investment, this also another state that as of today we've attracted not less than 22 different industries. This is another state that today, in terms of aviation development, in a global perspective, we're all around. This is the only state also, in terms of all the gateways to industrialization, we are on the forefront. Right. How can you still say that same state is in the forefront of unemployment? It's completely conflicting, it's contradictory. So we cannot fathom how they arrive at their statistical figure. So I don't want to rely on that. Except I'm carried along, let me see the numbers, see how they pick the numbers, see their population size, see the sample size, see also where the concentration was. So with that now, we'll be able to say, oh, this is what happened, this is what happened. And how can you also conduct such an exercise? And you didn't talk to anybody in the whole state.
Statistics agency. Are you saying that it is not true?
It's not true. Strictly not true. I can challenge that. So I can challenge that anywhere and let the person also bring the figures and show me how he arrived at.
The natural question then will be,
yes.
It's been said that when the figures seem to favor, we always embrace it. But when it doesn't show, speak well, we don't like to embrace it. We distance ourselves from it. But I think what will trounce this argument is to have your own unemployment figure. What is, if you have, what is the unemployment figure for your state? At least, let's put it out there so Nigerians can weigh that.
Pre-COVID, what we had pre-COVID as at end of December 20 into the first quarter of 2020 was actually lower than 34%. Post-COVID, because we now open up again, we open almost all the construction sites. As of today, the figures for 2021 December is not yet ready because they are still collecting. It's a cumbersome exercise. But by our estimate, based on what the ministry of Economic Development and Statistics Department should be telling us, they actually expected it to drop because within that period in time, the teachers we employed in secondary schools have resumed. And then the 1,100 as writing now, I won't count those ones. But because we've also increased a whole lot of funding, capital investment into the infrastructure, is employing a whole lot of people. So by their estimate, it should come much lower than that. So we are actually lower than the country average. That's by our statistics department. It can never be higher.
Well, again, as I always say,
December figures are not yet out,
of course, and compare them. But
yeah, I will
let you talk about that particular issue, which a lot of people would like you to speak to. But then, aside the economy, we have the issue of security. It's one thing to govern a state. It's yet another thing to govern a nation that has, you know, various states, ethnicities, religion, and all of that. And don't forget their agitations. Is it true federalism? Is it, you know, proper distribution of resources and all of that? But we'll need to go to break now, Your Excellency. And when we return, we'll take you up on all of these issues and lay them bare before Nigerians. So please stay with us. Welcome back. Let's continue our conversation with Governor Udom Emmanuel of Akwa Ibom State, who is now presidential aspirant in the People's Democratic Party. Thank you for staying with us, Your Excellency. So, yes, the conversation about the economy is endless, quite all right. But because of our time, let's skip to security now. And, I mean, you've had time to speak with people and, you know, Nigerians. And some of the things you've said about security is that you're going to employ intelligence, technology. You even gave a percentage of, you know, the mix in ensuring that we have, you know, good security in Nigeria. These ideas really, some would say, they're everywhere. These are things you hear from time to time, but there's always a question about really bringing this to bear in implementing it. So what are you going to do different? Yes, we know we need technology. We know we need intelligence, but what would you be doing differently?
Thank you, Kayode, and welcome back. I just want to say something here that is very specific. You might need to check the opinion of all the security agencies. This time around, it's not statistics. It's something that is real on ground, that you can feel, you can touch. Find out the opinion from all the security agencies. What's their opinion about Akwa Ibom today? Then let them compare that with the past. I think that will answer your question clear. And I don't also agree with you when you said that, you know, a state, if you cannot run a state, you can't run a nation. If you cannot run a small business, you can't run a multinational. The principles of management are the same. The 7 A's of management remains what we were taught right from Management 101 till professorial chair. So absolutely no difference. All you need to do now is your personal leadership trait, which is anchored on your training, your exposure, and hands-on experience, your antecedents. So for somebody to come and tell me, no, there's a difference. If you can do this much at the subnational, when you don't control policies, you don't control all the security agencies, you are not the commander-in-chief, it means you can do 10 times more if you control the policies and then you control the security agencies. So I do not agree with you. If you can run a state for 8 years and have that score from the security agencies, I think you can do much better when you are the commander-in-chief. All the security agencies report to you. You can actually have drafts, the direction, the policy direction of what you want to do. You control the policies. I think you can do much better. I can do much better. So I believe if I get into a situation where I have control over the policies and all the security agencies, it will be much better. Let me say something. All these things are not rocket science. How are others in other places doing it that you think we cannot do it? Once the passion is right, nothing is impossible. So if the passion is right here, my brother, I believe we can get it right. Well, this country, we have the manpower, we have the people that can do it.
Okay, let me break this.
If we are doing it at the state, I believe I can do it much better at the national level.
Okay, so let me break this down just to simplify this. What will be your first security move or strategic security decision in office, seeing the current situation we're in as a nation? I mean, battling banditry, kidnapping, terrorism, and the rest. What will be your first decisive move?
Is it a security decision or an approach? Because even the approach I'm talking about, you've already mentioned the approach in which I will adopt. But let me also say something here. Do you believe, even right here, a whole lot of those bandits and so on, they live within a community? And that community have people, they have youths. So the engagement, even of those people within that community, had actually not be explored yet. There are so many things, and unfortunately, the details of the community and what you do in your state cannot be unveiled 100% in front of camera. So it's a very sensitive matter that you want me to unveil everything I do in the state in front of the camera. It will be extremely difficult. But I want to assure you, use the result to judge what to expect. Use the result to draft your expectation of me. Use the report from other security agencies, the police, the army, just let them know, the SSS. They can provide you the report about Akwa Ibom, the security situation, now and before now. I think you can use that, because it could be extremely difficult for me to sit down and break in pieces what I'm doing, because these are security matters. It's not actually discussed openly to the minutest detail before camera. Why not use the situation we are right now and then determine? I keep saying, if I can do that at the subnational level, where even the police commissioner is not reporting to me, how much more as the commander-in-chief, when you are really controlling the policies and all the agencies and all the security apparatus? Well, I think I should do much better.
It's important to also lay this bare as much as possible to Nigerians who will be doing the eventual election or selection process, so they know what to expect, at least, and hold you to your words. Because in times past, we've had, aspirants and eventual candidates, outline what they will do, and it's important to have that. But I know you've had a very long day, and I must congratulate you on
those
that.
Aspirants that gave
the opening
of what they can do had nothing to show that they've done. Me, I have something to show that I've done. So use what I've done to actually, even in mathematics, at times you use what you have in hand, they say extrapolate or do a projection.
I understand.
I think you can in this case.
Well, let's wind down. As I was saying, you've had a long day, I understand, and I was trying to congratulate you on the project that was inaugurated today. The coconut, setup, and I imagine what this will mean for the state. But help us also to maybe extrapolate from that one, because, as I said, you have perhaps your advantages as a state. They say comparative advantage. But for Nigeria, if you were the president, what would you hold as a comparative advantage of Nigeria, which you want to maybe sell to the world to boost our economy, boost our naira? What would be your focus as we wind down?
One thing is, every single thing we need to prosper as a country, we have it in Nigeria. From, just name it, solid minerals, the weather, every single thing. And these are aspects that have actually flourished in the past. So Nigeria is not a country you start looking for competitive advantage at all. Not now. Now is actually, how can you put things together to actually derive expectation of what the people actually need. What Nigeria needs, Udom Emmanuel is already offering to his people. And right now you are trying to show the coconut refinery that we just opened today. This as a result of creativity, ideas, thinking outside the box. So this is all Nigeria needs, because everything that we need as a country, I think we already have. So if we can actually have a president like myself, based on what you are showing right now, this is clearly a thinking out of the box. Looking at coconuts, you can see people were using coconut to, to only eat domestic use, rice and so on. Today we are saying, look, we can turn this coconut to a major foreign exchange earner, where a liter of virgin coconut oil is going for $6 a liter, and about $1,320 something dollars per barrel. Right. Compared to crude oil that is only 110 on the average now, and that's because the market is an aberration because of the situation. So this is really thinking, and that's the kind of leader you need now. Not trying to look for what will be a competitive advantage of Nigeria. Nigeria is already blessed in almost everything. Is it the weather? Is it in terms of agric? Is it in terms of shoreline? Right. Mention what is lacking in Nigeria. Oil, every single thing. So I don't think what we are lacking now is to sell to the world. But what we are lacking is to have a creative thinker like Udom Emmanuel as the president, who will now put these things together.
Well, let's wind down. Let's wind down in 30 seconds because of our time, and I understand you've had a long day as well. In terms of uniting the nation, there are those saying that, referendum or, you know, let's have our own state. Are you the kind of president that would give ears to those agitations and give, okay, if you want a referendum, you can have it. If you want to stay, you can have it. 30 seconds.
I think I'm the kind of president that believes in one Nigeria, and I stand firm to that. This country, the agitation is just because the economy is bad. Fix the economy, a lot of these agitations will reduce. We have a whole lot to gain as a country the way we are right now. So those agitations will not come once you fix the economy and once also the purchasing power of the people are improved. There was a time in this country not quite long ago where a young man who is just starting work, a young assistant manager will walk across the road and then pick a new car and use and give post-dated checks and it will be valid. So we need to create a middle class in Nigeria. The essence of that lack of that middle class is also causing all this agitation because these are the people that have a louder voice than even the people on the, because this is a bracket we call the inside bracket. So we need to really take care of this bracket. And the only thing we can do that is through creativity and ideas, but everything that we need as a country, we have. Just for somebody to put them together and let's go back to prosperity time. That's why I keep saying, commit the man, commit the restoration of Nigeria, the man that can rescue and restore this country, both in economy, in security.
Well, we have to run now.
Nigeria needs, Udom is already providing.
Well, we have to run now. It's been quite an interesting conversation with you. We'll probably do more in the coming days, but we'd like to thank you for your time on the program tonight. We've been speaking with Governor Udom Emmanuel, who is vying for the PDP ticket and ultimately for the president of Nigeria. Thank you for your time, Your Excellency, tonight.
Thank you.